There, hi there, ho there. I'm gonna get in front of Alina so we can make her a surprise. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're just opening up the room a little early because I think I got all the kinks out before everybody got here. So when you get in, if you don't mind giving us a thumbs up that we are horizontal and that you can hear us, all right? That would be lovely. We're jamming it out today. We got lots of surprises in today's class. We're going to do this with our shoulders. We're going to do this with our head. Oh, this is going to be fun. So we're here a little early. It's 4 minutes before class starts. Perfect amount of time for me to tell you about today's charity, which is the crisis text line. We've used them before, and I think things are just getting scarier and scarier out there in the world. So I think more and more people are going to need the possibility of a little help, or at least the knowledge that the help is there. So today's charity is the crisis text line. All you need to do is text them, and they will call you back, have a professional call you back, and talk to you about whatever issues are vexing you at the time. So if you have the ability to make a small donation to the crisis text line, there's a donate now button. And if you can't, then that's great as well. Just take this class as a gift from us. Also big news is that I've got my website up and running. Woohoo! I'm going to be posting these classes on that website every week along with other interesting factoids, videos, and ideas for healthy living. And it's www.body-guru.com. That's guru, G-U-R-U. Kind of like saying that. All right, we're just waiting for people to enter the room. You might want to check your computer or something to make sure that this is actually working.
It is. Let me check.
Well, usually there's people here by now, but... So we have loads of surprises, new video, new website. We have a YouTube page as well. I just am not quite versed on how to get there unless I send you a link. So if you put your email address in the comments, I will send you a link to both my web page and my new YouTube channel. Where once a week I'm going to add new videos on self-stretching, back pain management, all that good stuff. Just waiting for people to enter the room. It's still a little early. I tried to get on here and make sure everything worked. You see that Lola is in position and ready. She's very anxious and unctuous. We'll start in just about 2 minutes. If you're, oh, Clarence is here. Hey, Clarence. Nice to see you. Jay's here. Thank you, Jay. I'll send you out the link to my webpage and my YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm posting these videos so you can do the yoga during the week, either on my YouTube channel or my webpage. Until I get a certain amount of viewers, they don't give me a dedicated URL for that YouTube page, so I'll send you a link. But the webpage is www.body-guru.com. Oh, they already made donations. That's so kind. Thank you. Morning, Joan. Thank you, Joan, for your email address. We'll get started in just a couple of moments. You see Lola is ready. We have all kinds of surprises this morning. It's about 9:29, so we have just a minute. Karen's here. Morning, Karen. I'm assuming you all can see us correctly and hear me correctly. Again, just for this last minute while we get ready, today's charity is the Crisis Text Line. They're a really good group. Tries to reach out to people that are in crisis, and I think the closer we get to elections, the deeper we get in COVID, all that good stuff, people are going to need that kind of work. So if you have the ability to make a donation, that's great. So we are going to get started in just 1 minute. Chris is on his mat with Lola. We have a special guest star today. I've been hiding her over my shoulder, but there she is. Alina's in the house. What?
From the screen to the mat.
There you go. She is live and luscious. So we're going to do a very simple class today. This one's for Joan. She loves the yin class. So yin classes are about breathing. They're about holding poses longer. Diaphragmatic breath. So if you inhale in through your nose to the bottom of your lungs so that your lungs expand, your belly expands, that's diaphragmatic breathing. As you exhale, it helps to relax the central nervous system, which relaxes your muscles and allows you to go a little bit deeper. So we're going to start lying on our backs. Flat on your backs. So lying down flat on your back, just start to bring your awareness to your breath and to the moment. Let's straighten our legs out. Let's have your arms next to your side, your chin pointed down your body. Just bring your awareness to your first breath, in through your nose, expanding the rib cage. And as you exhale, just let the air drizzle out. Just let everything melt. Bring your awareness to the next sensation of the breath that it enters your body, in through your nose, down through your lungs to the very bottom. And then bring all of your awareness to the sensation of the air as it exits your body. No struggles and no strains. If something feels uncomfortable, adjust it. Breathe into it. Allow yourself to release any tension or trying with each exhale. Allow your body to begin to melt into the floor, releasing tension at your ankles, at your knees, at your hips, at your shoulders, and at your neck. One more deep inhale here, just starting to bring your attention to this moment. One more slow exhale. And then we're going to bend your left knee. We're going to straighten out your right leg all the way down. So just bend your left knee, bringing your left foot in towards your bottom as close as you comfortably can. The toes of the right foot are pulled back gently. Reach that heel forward. So just begin to feel the stretch down the back of your right leg. And then take a deep inhale and let your arms rise up towards the ceiling. Your belly fills with air, your arms rise up. As you exhale, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. So just as you inhale, reach back with your fingertips, reach forward with that right heel and feel the lengthening down the back of the right side of your body. As you exhale, slowly let your arms float back down by your side. Use the full length of that exhale. Once your fingertips touch the floor, just follow your own breath. Inhaling as your arms reach up towards the ceiling. Exhaling as they fall to the floor behind you. Leaving them there on the floor behind you. As you inhale, reach back with your fingertips, reach forward with the heel. As you exhale, let your arms float back down by your sides. Use the full length of that exhale to get those arms back down. Match your breath to your motion. One more time, inhaling, filling your lungs to the bottom, letting your arms rise up to the sky. Exhaling and letting them fall to the floor. Inhaling, reaching back with your fingertips, reaching forward with that heel. And as you exhale, let your right leg float up towards the ceiling. Let your arms float down to hold behind the left knee. So if you can't reach the back of your knee, just use a strap, use a towel, use anything you like. We're going to leave your left foot down on the table. We're going to raise your right leg up to the ceiling. There you go. Pull the toes of your right foot down. Reach the heel of your right foot up. Feel it stretching from the heel down the back of your hamstring. Point your toes towards the ceiling and just gently begin to circle your ankle around as if you're drawing a small circle on the ceiling with the toes of your right foot. Feel the motion of that ankle. And then reverse directions. Slow it down a little bit so that you can feel that ankle as it goes through the full revolution. Breathe. One more full circle of that ankle, and then we're just going to point your right toes towards the ceiling. And then use your arms to slowly stir that right leg, bringing it around in a circle, as if you were drawing a larger circle on the ceiling, but you're moving the entire right leg. See if you can connect it to your breath. Inhaling as you take it up one side of the circle. Exhaling as you take it on the other side of the circle. And feel that hip. You're stirring up that hip. So no pain, no pinching. One more full circle. And then we'll take it in the opposite direction. Connect your motion to your breath. Breathe deep into your belly. As you exhale slowly, see if you can make that circle with your leg just a little bit larger. One more full circle, and then bring that leg back to the ceiling, straight up, and pull the toes down, reaching the heel up. So this is one of the places where you have a choice. You can either lie here just like you are, or with an exhale, lift your head and shoulders from the floor, walk your hands up to the back of your calf. So this is just an option. If you're already enjoying the hamstring stretch as you were with your shoulders flat, just stay there and breathe. Stay there and feel. If you've raised the head and shoulders up off the floor, see if you can raise up just a little bit higher, taking your hands to the back of your calf. No struggles and no strains. One more deep inhale here. If you have your head and shoulders raised up, go ahead and start to lower them. Bend that right knee, keeping your hands behind the knee, and pull it into your chest. Let your shoulders relax, let your jaw relax. Feel your breath expanding in the belly, pressing against the thigh of that right foot. No struggles and no strains. We're going to gently let your right ankle come to rest on your left knee. So just letting that right ankle rest on the left knee. If you have pain in your hip, you can slide your left foot down a little further. Gives you a little bit more space for your hip. We're going to take your right hand and put it on top of your right knee, and with an exhale, gently push that knee away from you, as if you were opening up that right hip. Don't take strain or struggle in your shoulder. If it feels like it's difficult to reach without straining your shoulder, use your block or use a pillow in your right hand as a spacer to give you a little bit more space. Because that's what spacers do. They give you more space. Close your eyes and feel it. Breathe into any area that feels tight. Imagine that you're expanding those areas of tightness with your breath. And as you exhale, allow those areas to melt. One more deep breath here. One more slow exhale. And then we're going to take both of your hands on top of your right knee, and with an exhale, gently pull that right knee across your body towards your left shoulder. So you don't want to go straight across, you want to come up and across, as if you were pulling the knee towards your left shoulder. You're stretching your piriformis, a hip muscle. Really important one if you have low back pain or bursitis. No struggles and no strains. Breathe. Breathe into the tightness. Exhale out the tension, the trying, the judgment. Shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed. And breathe. We're really try to close your eyes and feel this stretch. Find the depth of your breath. Yoga really is more about whether you can connect to the breath or the feeling of the stretch or the strength of the pose. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then just release your hands from that knee. Leave that knee crossed right over top of your left leg, but let your hands off of it. Take your arms out to the side like the letter T. Let that right leg just slide further over that left one. And then as you exhale, let both knees drop to your right. So the weight of your right leg is just drawing your left leg over across with it. If you'd like, you can turn your head to look at your left arm if that doesn't bother your neck, but remember, no pinching and no pain. You're stretching the top of that left hip. You're stretching the iliotibial band on the left side. You're getting a little bit of a stretch into your quadratus lumborum. Remember, all these names are on the test at the end of the class, and you will need a number 2 pencil. Try finding a number 2 pencil around your house. Breathe. Take one deep breath into that left side of that rib cage. Feel it expand. Bring all of your focus and attention there as you exhale, allowing the air to drizzle out, allowing yourself to melt. You may notice that your legs just go a little bit further with that exhale. That's how that diaphragmatic breath works. Close your eyes for a moment and be in this moment. Every other moment will wait. It will be there when we finish. See if you can bring your mind into this moment for one more deep inhale. One more slow exhale. No. And then slowly bring your back flat. Separate your legs, feet flat on the ground, knees bent. And then we'll let your knees drop out in opposite directions. The palms of your feet come together. Let your knees open into a cobbler's pose. So in the cobbler's pose, you have choices here. If it feels like pinching or pain in your groin or your hips, slide your feet down towards the bottom of your mat. Or you can make fists with your hands and slide them under the tops of your thighs, or even just slip a pillow underneath of your knees. Find an expression of each and every pose that you can hold with ease, where you can bring your focus and attention back to the depth of your breath or the feeling of the stretch. This is a really great pose in which to practice diaphragmatic breathing. So if you want, you can take one hand and put it on your belly and the other hand lies on your chest. As you take a diaphragmatic breath, the hand on your belly should rise first, followed by the hand on your chest. That's a really good feedback as to whether you're breathing into the belly. As you exhale, the hand on your chest should fall first, followed by the hand on your belly. You may notice that your knees drop just a little closer to the floor as you exhale. That's great. No pinching, no pain. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. Slowly bringing your knees back up into meet. You can use your hands to help them get there. So if it feels like the muscles are stretched out and weak, use your hands to bring your knees back up to meet. Once your knees are pointed up towards the ceiling and your feet are flat, let's straighten out your left leg all the way to the floor. We're going to do the same group of exercises on the opposite side, bringing balance. So start by pulling the toes of your left foot back, gently reaching the left heel forward. You're creating an anchor for your fascia. Fascia is a web-like structure that covers your entire body. By gently pulling the toes back and gently reaching that heel forward, you're creating an anchor so that as your arms move, you gently stretch the fascia. So as you inhale, let your arms rise up to the ceiling, your lungs filling from the bottom. As you exhale, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. As you inhale, reach your fingertips back, reach that heel forward, and just feel that gentle stretch down the entire length of the left side of your body. As you exhale, slowly let your arms float back down and by your hips. Breathe. Follow your own breath. Inhaling, your arms float up to the ceiling. Exhaling, they fall to the floor behind you. I'm going to keep talking you through this, but I'm going to ask Chris to find me a set of batteries because I think my microphone is going to be dying soon. It's flashing. I think they're AA's. Reaching back, inhaling. As you exhale, let your arms float back down and by your side. The one technical difficulty I did not anticipate. Yeah, they're AA's, babe. Breathe. Deep into your belly, exhaling as your arms fall back. We're going to hold your arms to the back here for just a moment. Take a deep inhale, reach the heel forward, reach the fingertips back. As you exhale, let your left leg float up to the ceiling. Let your hands come down to hold behind the left thigh. Breathing deep into your belly, pointing the toes towards the ceiling. Begin to gently circle your toes around as if you're drawing a small circle on the ceiling with your toes. Close your eyes and feel the motion of that ankle. And then reverse direction of your ankle. Slow it down so that you can bring awareness to the feeling. Breathe. So I'm getting ready to switch out these batteries. You might lose my vocals for just a moment. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, point your toes towards the ceiling and begin to use your arms to circle the entire leg around the ceiling. Slowly connecting it to your breath. And then reverse directions. Connect each motion to your breath. You lose focus or you lose mindfulness, just gently bring it back to the motion or the depth of your breath. One more circle. And then bring your leg back to the center. Pull the toes gently down, the heel reaching up towards the sky. Stay right here, or with an exhale, lift your head and shoulders from the floor. Taking your hands behind your knee or your calf, wherever they reach to. You don't have to do this part, it is an option. Just gives you a little bit deeper stretch. Staying there or raising your hands up to behind your ankle, find an expression of the pose where you can bring all of your focus back to the feeling of the stretch or the depth of your breath. Breathe. If you have your head and shoulders risen up off the floor, go ahead and lower them down. Wherever you are, bend that left knee and draw it into your chest, your hands behind your knee. And just breathe there for a moment. Let your shoulders relax, let your jaw relax. Let your shoulders be at ease. Take a deep breath and feel your belly pressing into that thigh. As you exhale, gently bring your left ankle to rest on your right knee. And then use your left hand on top of your left knee and gently, with an exhale, push that left knee away from you. No struggles, no strains. Breathe. Remember, this class is really focused on mindfulness. about connecting with your breath, with your internal environment, helping to lower stress hormones, helping to raise your immunity. That's the whole reason we've been doing this class. So if you feel challenged, that's great. If you don't feel challenged, see if you can find something that's more of a challenge, like focusing entirely on your breath. Or noticing the internal language in your brain, but not attaching to the story of it. Taking both hands to the top of your left knee, with your next exhale, gently draw that left knee across your body towards your right. Release the tension in your jaw, release the tension in your shoulders. Release the tension in your mind. Feel that left hip. Breathe into the air as it feels tight. Exhale out tension or trying or effort. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then gently remove your hands from the knee and let your left knee just slide over top of your right knee. Take your arms out to the side like the letter T, and as you exhale, let both knees come to your left. So just use the weight of your left leg to gently draw your right leg over towards the left. A spinal twist. Spinal twists are everything. You're wringing out the fluids in the discs. So the discs between each of your vertebrae are hydrostatic system, meaning they have fluid in them. They're like a shock absorber. They require motion in order to stay healthy. Most of us sit all day long. We don't move our spine in any direction that's available to it. And when we do, it might move forward or back to bend over and tie our shoes. We very rarely twist in one direction or the other. This is one way to keep your discs healthy and hydrated. Close your eyes here. Feel that right rib cage as you take a deep inhale to your belly. As you exhale, see if you can melt a little further. Just release 10% of your trying or of your effort. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then gently begin to bring yourself back to a flat back. Separate your legs so that both feet are flat, both knees are bent. And then let your knees drop open in opposite directions, back to cobbler's pose. Cobbler's is a great balancing pose. After you've done something on one side of your body and then on the opposite side of your body, it's a really great way to balance it out so you don't walk away unbalanced, God forbid. Remember, sliding your feet towards the bottom of your mat can open up that diamond shape you're making with your legs. You can make your hips more at ease. Find an expression of the pose that you can hold with ease. Breathe into it. Exhale it slowly. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly, gently bring your knees back up to meet. Use your hands if you need to, that's perfectly fine. And we're going to straighten out both legs. So both legs down to the floor, nice and straight. Your arms by your sides. We're going to do a little alligator roll here because it's always fun to mimic farm animals. Yes, in Florida, alligators are on farms. Not a farm you'd want to go to, certainly not a milking or petting farm. So we're going to take a deep inhale. Let both arms rise up towards the ceiling. With an exhale, your arms fall to the floor behind you. So what we're going to try and do with your arms back over your head, with your legs reached out forward, is to try and roll on to your right side. So let your arm just be by your right ear. You can let your head rest on that right bicep. But see if you can do a log roll over to your right, ending up on your right side with your ear rested on your right bicep. Your legs straight. And breathe. We're going to take a deep inhale here. And with an exhale, we're going to try and roll back to your back. So rolling flat back onto your back, your arms still overhead. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, try to roll onto your left side. So try to do a log roll using your abdominal muscles. Your left ear resting on your left bicep. Reaching in opposite directions with the heels of your feet and with the arms. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, roll it back to a flat back. Take a deep inhale and roll it all the way back over to your right side. We're going to stay here on your right side for just a moment. So your right arm can act as a pillow, letting your head rest on it. What we're going to do is bend your top knee, your left knee. So your heel is coming back towards your butt. And then I'm going to ask you to reach back with your left hand and see if you can grab onto your ankle or use a strap. Try to keep your knees stacked one on top of the other one. And just feel that stretch down the front of your left quadricep muscle. The quadricep muscle is the big one from your knee to your hip. No strain in the shoulder. Breathe. Feel that stretch in the front of the quad. These are not muscles that we stretch very often. And then somebody might reach over and tickle you in the belly. It's called unprofessionalism, ladies and gentlemen. See if you can get your knees stacked one on top of the other one, all the way down. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then you can release that left ankle. You can take your left arm back and up and over your head and straighten out your left leg. You guessed it. We're going to see if we can roll all the way from your left side, all the way from your right side, all the way to the left in one motion without stopping on your back. Just give it a try. Exhale and log roll, bringing yourself all the way over to the opposite side. And now I'll tickle your belly. So you can take your right arm down by your side, begin to bend your right knee, reaching behind you for the ankle or for the strap. Let me get the other end. Good. There's one end, there's the other. Let your knees stack one on top of the other. Let your head rest on top of that bicep and close your eyes. Feel the stretch down the front of your quadricep muscle. No struggle or strain. If it feels like pain in your knee, allow yourself to back up. If you're using a strap, you can just release your ankle a little bit. Breathe into that quadricep muscle. Feel the tightness of it. No struggles, no strains. The music's getting very tribal. We might have to get up and shimmy, shimmy, Coco Pop. Shimmy, shimmy, Coco Pop. One more deep inhale. Really breathe into the tightness. One more slow exhale. And then you can release that right ankle. Take your right arm back up by your side. Take a deep inhale, straightening out your knee, rolling back flat onto your back. See if you can do it in one log roll. Just bring yourself onto your back. Arms overhead, legs stretched out wide. Inhaling deeply to the very bottom of your lungs. Exhaling, drawing your knees into your chest. Let your hands float down to hold on to your knees. And breathe. This is a time when you can just let go, just release, find your breath again, breathe into your belly so you feel it pressing against your thighs. As you exhale, release tension from your shoulders, release tension from your neck. Allow your back to melt and open. So when you're ready, you can push yourself up to an easy seated position. So get there in whatever way you like. An easy seated position is one where your spine is straight, where you have ease in your spine. So sometimes sitting up like this is challenging for the spine. If it's rounded or it feels like, wow, it takes a lot of effort to do that, then sit on a yoga block or sit on a pillow. The idea is to find an expression of ease. Let's just take a deep inhale, let our shoulders come up to your ears, and with your exhale, take them back and behind you. So we're just making some little circles with our shoulders, just loosening them up before we do our handstands for today. Alina is an expert at handstands, so we have promised to do at least 6. One more inhale, take the shoulders up and back and down. And by the way, if you'd like to guest star on our yoga class, the fee is very reasonable. It's only $150 to be a guest star here. And imagine the careers we have launched. Lola is a high-paid dog commercial person now. Okay, one more circle. Inhale it up.
Bodyguru.com.
Exhale, right, bodyguru.com for more comedy styling. We're going to take a deep inhale. With an exhale, let your chin drop gently towards your chest. Just feeling that gentle stretch of your neck down. With your next exhale, take your right ear to your right shoulder. Push your left elbow down towards the floor to add a little bit more of a stretch there. On your next exhale, take your head back, your chin up. Your next exhale is your left ear to your left shoulder, gently pushing your right elbow down towards the floor if you'd like. And then chin to the chest. Perfect. Gently allow your chin to rise up to a neutral position. We're going to straighten out your left leg. We're going to bend your right knee and bring your right foot in towards your bottom as far as you comfortably can. So your right knee is bent, it's pulled up towards the ceiling. Just going to wrap both arms around that right knee for the moment. Gently pull your chest into that knee. So we're just trying to allow your spine to become tall and strong. You can assist it with your arms. That's perfectly fine. So we're going to keep your left arm right where it is. We're going to take your right arm and lengthen it up towards the ceiling. So reach your right arm up to the sky, inhaling deeply. As you exhale, turn to your right and bring your right hand to the floor behind you. So that right arm on the floor behind you, you're pushing down, you're creating length in your spine. Remember, ease in the spine is our goal. Each inhale, push down into that right arm and try to lengthen your spine to create space so that with an exhale, you may rotate just a little bit further towards your right. Remember, in the yin poses, we're going to hold them just a little bit longer. So try to take the opportunity while holding the pose to find your breath, to really dive deep into the pose. Find the places that feel restricted. Breathe into them. Find the thoughts that seem limiting and observe them, but don't attach to them. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly just bring yourself back towards the front. So you're going to let that right leg drop down towards the floor. So the right foot is on the inside of your left thigh or your left calf. If it feels like that's a struggle for your hip, just slide that right foot down to the inside of the left thigh. We're going to inhale both arms towards the ceiling. So your shoulder blades come down your back. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, fall halfway forward. So point your fingers to where the wall meets the ceiling. Your next inhale, you're reaching out through your fingertips, create space, and as you exhale, fold forward, bringing your hands to the bottom of your left foot or to the ankle. Wherever they reach is perfectly fine. Use the strap if you'd like. Try to keep your kneecap pointed straight up. So look down at your left knee. If it's rotated out to the side, you're just making an accommodation. See if you can bring it back up and notice the difference in that stretch. If you gently push the back of your left knee down towards the floor, you'll be creating space. No struggles and no strains. Close your eyes and feel the hamstring stretch. No struggles, no strains. Breathe into the tightness. Exhale out, restriction. Close your eyes and see if you can just bring your focus and attention fully to this moment. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly begin to unfold. Once you're unfolded, your spine is straight, we're going to straighten out both legs. So again, this is one where it's helpful to sit up on a pillow or sit up on a block. If your spine feels like it's struggled or strained, slide something underneath your hips. It takes a great deal of the strain out. Toes pulled back, heels reaching forward, kneecaps to the ceiling. Inhaling our arms to the sky, shoulder blades down your back. Exhaling, falling halfway forward. This is where you lengthen your spine. Inhale, reach out through your fingertips. Exhale, let your hands drop to the feet or to the ankles, wherever they find themselves. Push gently down into the floor with the backs of your knees. Breathe into the tightness. Breathe into any restrictions. No struggles and no strains. Close your eyes. Bring your focus and attention back to your breath. Feel the breath. One more deep inhale. Really lengthen your spine. Create space. So that with one more slow exhale, you might fold just a little further if it's available to you. If it's not, that's fine. And then slowly begin to unfold. Try not to move your spine too quickly after it's been in a flexed position or any one position. Once your spine is up tall and straight, let's bend your left knee, bringing your left foot into your chest, wrapping both arms around that knee just to help get the spine straight. So pull your chest into that leg. No pinching or pain here. Feel your belly press into that left thigh as you take a deep inhale. As you exhale, melt. We're going to remove your left arm from that knee. We're going to wrap your right arm around it. We're going to inhale that left arm up to the ceiling. Deep inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, bring it to the floor behind you. Push down into the floor. Try to rotate your chest towards the left. Don't forget about that right leg. Keep it active. The toes pulled back, the heel gently reaching forward. No struggles and no strains. Breathe. Close your eyes for a moment. See if you can take one deep inhale. See if you can imagine your spine like an accordion reaching towards the sky. As you exhale, see if you can rotate just a little further. Remember, we're holding these poses a little bit longer, allowing your body to open. So I told you earlier how this wrings out your vertebrae, your discs, and helps to keep them hydrated. It also helps to cleanse your kidney and your liver. It helps to press out all the byproducts of body action and helps to allow new blood flow in. So it keeps your organs as healthy as well. One more deep inhale here, lengthening your spine. One more slow exhale. taking it just a little further if it's available to you. And then slowly return to the front. Slowly straightening out both legs, sitting up on the block or the pillow again if you need it. One more forward fold, inhaling your arms up, really create length. Exhale, fall forward. Pushing the backs of your knees gently into the floor helps to deactivate your hamstrings. It allows them to go just a little bit further. You may notice that this time when you came down, your hands reached just a little bit further. That's the slow opening, which is really a good thing. Holding your poses for longer allows you to stretch the tendon, the ligament, and the muscle belly. Breathing deeply into your belly calms the central nervous system, which relaxes the muscles and allows for opening. Kneecaps straight up, gently push down into the back of your knees. Feel that stretch. For one more deep inhale, one more slow exhale. And then gently begin to unfold. We're going to take a seated cobbler because you know I can't get through a whole class without doing that. So we're bringing the bottoms of your feet together, the knees falling out in opposite directions, sitting up on a pillow or a block if your spine does not feel at ease. So the idea here is to bring those feet in as close to your body as you comfortably can. If it feels like struggle or strain in your back, you can slide your feet further away from you. That'll also take some of the strain out. You can stay just as you are, or you can open your feet up like a book so that you're looking at the palms of your feet. That stretches the outside ligaments of your ankle. Find an expression of the pose you can hold with ease. You can stay seated straight up with your spine straight, gently encouraging your knees towards the floor, or with an exhale, fold forward, bringing your chest forward. You're not rounding your spine, you're keeping your spine long. Each inhale, lengthen it. Each exhale, fold further forward if that's available to you. Without struggle, without strain. Breathing deeply into the belly, exhaling slowly. Feel that stretch. No struggles, no strains. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly, if you're folded forward, go ahead and unfold. We're going to bring ourselves up to an easy seated position. So move your legs slowly back into an easy seated position. Just shake out your shoulders, shake out your knees as you like. Breathe. We're going to take a deep inhale, let your arms rise up towards the ceiling, shoulder blades down your back. As you exhale, turn your fingers to reach in opposite directions, the palms of your hands reaching up. So imagine that you're holding a giant globe above your head. I know you all hear that song, Walk Like an Egyptian, going through your brain right now. But what you're actually doing is creating that anchor for the fascial stretch in your arms, just like we did in the feet and the legs by pulling the toes back. Reach those heels up. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring the fingertips of your left hand to the floor and then lean over towards your left. That's your right, my friend. There you go. So you can look up at your right arm if it doesn't bother your neck. Push down into your right hip so that your right hip stays anchored on the floor. Breathe into that right rib cage and feel it expand, lengthening. It's a beautiful thing to feel your rib cage expanding and opening. Feel the stretch down the front of your left forearm. One more deep breath into that right rib cage. Really feel that breath expanding. And as you exhale, slowly release your left hand from the floor. Bring it back to the sky. Palms reaching up, fingertips reaching in opposite directions. Walk like an Egyptian. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, take it to the opposite side. The fingertips of your right hand touch the floor. Then try to push the palm down. Look up at your left arm and begin to reach your left arm up and over. Gently anchoring your hip down, so push down into your left hip. Breathe. Rib cage is expanding. Breathing. One more deep inhale here. See if you can really feel that rib cage expand with that breath. As you exhale, slowly release the fingertips from the floor, bringing your arms back up, reaching for the sky with the palms of your hands. And then bring your fingers together to clasp them, interlacing them. And then turn the palms of your hands up with your fingers interlaced. Your elbows right next to your ears. No pinching or pain in your shoulders. And breathe. Slowly bringing your arms down so that your interlaced fingers and palms are facing forward. Shoulder blades relaxed. Feel that stretch down the fronts of your arms. And then release. Just take your wrists and wring them out. Beautiful. So we're going to get ready to go into final relaxation, and we're going to do that lying down onto our backs. We have all kinds of special treats today. You're going to love this one. So take your time, make your way to your back. With your legs out straight, your arms next to your side, your palms facing up. See if you can make yourself comfortable. So if it feels like struggle or strain in your back to have your legs out straight, slide something underneath of your knees so that there's a small bend in your knees. Try to make sure that your chin is facing down your body, not up towards the sky. So if you need to slide a pillow underneath of your head, that's perfectly fine. Lola is in the perfect Shavasana. She's ready for belly rubs while she's in Shavasana. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep inhale to your belly. As you exhale, slowly release. Release any tension. Release any effort. See if you can imagine yourself melting into the floor. What I'm going to ask you to do is take 10 deep inhales and 10 very slow exhales, counting silently backwards to yourself each of the 10 exhales. If you lose count, just start again. And now I'm going to ask if you can bring all of your focus and attention to the center of your chest, where your heart beats. We're going to see if we can find focus enough to feel or hear the internal beating of your heart. Sometimes holding your breath for just a moment will help to amplify that. See if you can find that internal heartbeat and bring all of your focus and attention to that as if it's an anchor. So that if your mind wanders, you gently bring it back to that heart center. ears, just find the heartbeat again, without a story, without a judgment. Bring your focus back to it. I have a crystal singing bowl that's attuned to the chakra energy of the heart. And I'm going to play that a little bit. So you can continue to just hold on to the heartbeat, or you can listen to the tones from the singing bowl. Whatever you decide to do, try to stay focused. And then I'll ask you to shift your attention one more time to a thought. Bring to mind a thought of your heart's greatest desire. You can envision it living right there in your heart, being pumped out to every cell in your body with each beat of your heart, or just hold it in your heart. Your heart's greatest desire can be for yourself or for someone else, for the world in general. See if you can bring to mind your heart's greatest desire and hold it. Hold it in mind, hold it in heart or spirit. Imagine for a moment your life as if your heart's greatest desire was already true. Feel that energy as it resonates in your body. And then release your heart's greatest desire and allow your mind to come to stillness. Any thought or distraction that enters your mind, let it be noticed but not attached to. Let your mind be still. And then we'll slowly start to bring attention back to your body. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bring awareness to the space in those knuckles, in those joints as they move. And spread your toes apart, spread your fingers apart, and feel the space between your fingers. Feel the space between your toes. And then let your hands and your feet relax. Take a deep inhale and let your shoulders slide up towards your ears. With an exhale, let your arms slide down your body towards the foot and just feel the stretch between your shoulders and your ears and your neck. And then let them relax. Gently let your head begin to rock from side to side, just moving in whatever way feels good for your neck. And then let it come to rest where it feels comfortable. As you take a deep inhale, filling your lungs from the bottom, let your arms rise up to the ceiling. As you exhale, let them fall to the floor behind you. As you inhale, reach back with your fingertips, reach forward with the heels of your feet. Feel the stretch along the length of your body. And as you exhale, draw your knees to your chest. Let your arms float down to hold on to your knees. And then gently, if you'd like, begin to rock from side to side, using the floor to wake up the muscles around your spine. When you're ready, you can roll onto your right side. Lying in a fetal position, your knees drawn up towards your chest, your hands made into a pillow to support your head, or use a block or pillow or a dog if you have hashtag Lola Yoga Dog. And just bring your awareness back to one more breath. Feel it as it enters your nose to the bottom of your lungs. See if you can keep your awareness focused as the air leaves. Feel it warmed, the back of your throat, across your lip as it exits. And then when you're ready, push yourself up to an easy seated position. Easy seated position is anyone where your spine is at ease. So sit in a chair if you'd like. Sit up on a pillow or a block. Let the backs of your hands come to rest on the tops of your knees. Close your eyes and lengthen your spine with an inhale, reaching the top of your head up towards the sky. With an exhale, see if you can hold that tall and lengthened posture with ease. Another deep inhale lengthens your spine. With an exhale, let your hands float into prayer position at the center of your chest. Your thumbs gently against your chest. Your chin drops gently down. It was nice to be with you guys again. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, our guest star, Alina, and of course, Lola.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you for my wonderful singing bowl, because I enjoy that stuff. So thank you guys for showing up every week and supporting our charity if that's available to you. Today's charity is the Crisis Text Line. They do a lot of good work for people in crisis. So sometimes it's hard to ask for help. This is simply a text away and somebody will call you. So if you need help, please avail yourself of it. If you cannot afford to do that charity this week, that's perfectly fine. We all understand it. Please accept this class as a gift from us. So one other announcement is my website is off the ground. It is www.body-guru.com. I have lots of videos on there. I have lots of products that I try and like, and I'm going to be posting these videos there. So feel free to share that with anybody. Anybody wants to take the class, there is no charge for it. Just go to the website and check it out. If you would like me to email you a link to my also new YouTube channel where I'm putting some more things as well, just leave your email address in the comments. I don't have a dedicated URL until I get a bunch of subscribers. So until then, I'd have to send you the link to find it, because otherwise it's a little precarious. But again, the Body Guru is my website, and I put that in the description of today's class. But if you'd like me to send you the YouTube channel, just leave your email address and I will get that out to you this week. Thank you and namaste. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe and vote. Peace on the reef. Thank you guys for showing up. Good to see you. Let's see who was in class. I feel like Miss Sally with her magic mirror. I see Joan and I see... Oh, Mike Little was here. Good morning, Mike. Mike Sands was here. Yay, Jay, Joan, Reenie, good to see you. Oh, I don't see the donate button again. Can you send it to me? Oh, maybe I did put the donate button on. I'm not sure. these things get me confused. Christina was here. Thank you so much, everybody. So good to see you and our star, Alina. So awesome. All right, everybody, thank you so much. We've got $40 in donations, so that button is there somewhere, Jay, but I will send you the name of the place. I hope to see you all again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
End this video now, so help me.